we're on air already.
Oh, wow. Sorry, Chris DeLisle.
Yeah, hopefully he ain't watching.
That was sneaky. That's the light, by the way.
Okay.
See the on-air thing up there?
Oh, that light.
Comedy, so when I see a light go on, I'm like, oh, we got to wrap this up.
He said when you see the red light, you'll know it's on air. And honestly, the whole show, I was looking at the cameras because usually when you do TV, the camera light comes on.
I know nothing
totally
about
didn't
that.
realize
No.
there's
He's just trying to name drop that he does TV.
we have
an on-air sign right there.
It's like, I'm not used to when I do television film, a light comes on.
Well, I'm here with Eddie Clendening.
Howdy,
and
howdy.
Gray DeLisle.
Yes, hi.
See, I did okay.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That was very
We've got some messed up names, and you really did a great
So
job.
I usually start these off by talking about the venue and the artists and the history, and there is no history with you guys, with us.
It's
with
true.
with the Mucky Duck.
This is our
Plenty of
first time
history.
at the Mucky
Hopefully
Duck.
this is
Yeah.
the beginning of our history with the
Yeah.
Mucky
It
Duck.
is, of course. We enjoyed the show tonight.
Awesome.
So
We did
definitely
too.
look forward to seeing y'all again.
It's a great room for music. Yeah.
Yes,
Where have
the
y'all
sound-
played in
I want to
Houston?
shout out to the sound man. He did a great job. Jalen, is that what his name is?
Jalen.
Jalen
great
killed it.
job.
He's
Yeah.
waving.
I used to come to Houston all the time years ago, and then it's been a big break. But I used to play a place called Walters on Washington.
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
regular.
that's way gone.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
That was a fun old
It was
honky tonk
a,
back
it was
in
a
the day.
cool.
Yeah.
That was kind of a honky tonk,
Yeah.
punk rock.
Yeah, and then the
Metal.
Continental Club out here and
Yeah.
some of those places.
Yeah,
but
Continental's still
We
there.
were gonna do Austin. I'm glad we gave Houston some love because we were gonna do Austin, but it was Austin City Limits, so they said we'll
Yeah, it's
reschedule.
looking nuts.
And then I was like, well, maybe we'll play Houston. And now I'm like, we're hitting Houston every time because this is a great
this
club.
was rad. I'll tell you, the first time I ever came to Houston for a show, I was coming down the highway, and there was a car on fire on the side of the highway, and a bunch of people standing around watching while a larger woman struggled to get out of the car. No one helping her.
Oh my
And so I
God.
stopped and busted the window and got this woman out
Are
of the
you
car
serious?
while people just stood around watching. Yeah.
Oh
so that was
my-
my first introduction to the fine people of Houston.
Well,
Not a good story to tell
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, it's
Houston
not-
show.
This was
Eddie.
many
that's
years
not,
ago. It's like
that's not indicative.
20 plus years ago. But no,
You just
since-
met the 8 jerks in Houston.
Yeah, no,
Everybody
since,
else is really
since
nice.
then, I love coming to Houston, and I'm glad it was a big gap where I didn't get to come out here, and now knowing that you guys are here, yeah, I feel like I want to come
He's
back.
not going to be able to
time.
ask us any of our questions because we both have ADHD
No, you-
probably
Yeah,
pretty
sorry, I
badly, and we're
ramble.
just
You
going
can
to
go
ramble.
on. It's just easier for me when you do the talking.
Perfect.
I would
perfect.
rather just sit here and
It's
listen.
like, well, we're out of time, and we haven't gotten to question 1.
We close it
The
too.
first time I came to Houston, I was.
So do you want to talk about the thing?
We don't need to talk about the thing.
It was the incident? Is that
Yeah,
what
the
we
incident.
can't- we
No,
can't do?
you know, it's all over the internet. You know, everybody's talking about it, and I don't think we need to add anything
We were
to
young,
the fire.
we needed the money.
You know,
and,
yeah.
You know.
We can come back to the thing later.
We all make
Let's try to get
mistakes.
some of these questions in. before we get to
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
thing.
Hit us with it.
So, what was the first record you purchased with your hard-earned own money or stole?
Oh, gosh.
You first.
AC/DC Back in Black.
I love it.
That's a good one.
You ready?
My babysitter had it, and I wanted it because I just thought it would be. It was cool. I wanted to be her. I wanted like feathered hair and like everything that she had, and it just seemed like a really badass record to
You ready
have.
for mine? It's because it's still one of my favorite albums. It's Sex Packets by Digital Underground.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one of my favorite albums of all
This is a
time.
family show, Eddie.
It's a great record. Everybody should go out and buy Sex Packets by Digital Underground. It's got the Humpty Dance, Do What You Like, Underwater Rhymes. Got some great tunes on there.
What was the first concert that you wanted to go to that was yours? Like, not you're getting drugged there by your parents or your church. It's like,
Oh gosh,
I
I
wanna
did.
go see this.
I was raised in a Pentecostal church, so we got a lot of bad music shoved in our faces. But Buddy and Julie Miller came to church once, and that was the first time I was like, you know, Christian music's not. The Christian music can be actually really good, and that was the only Christian band I ever saw that was good.
My mom's always wanting me to go to church with her, so and I always tell her, I'm like, you know, Jesus seems like a great guy, but his band is kind of terrible. Like, I want to put a good band together for that guy. But no, my first show that I really want to go to, we have an oldies station in Denver, Colorado, where I'm from, called Cool 105, Good Times and Great Oldies. It's like a Clear Channel, whatever, but they would do their Cool concert, you know, and so.
Right.
I was like,
obviously
all right.
left no impression on you at all.
Well, I got to say it was horrible. I hated it. It was the Mike Love Beach Boys experience with like Stamos on drums and all that. But the one act I remember seeing at that Cool concert that really blew me away was Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. They killed it. They were amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to, a guy that was in class with me, like I think it was 10th grade, got tickets to Oingo Boingo, and he was like, "Hey,
Love Oingo
I want to
Boingo.
take you to Oingo Boingo," and I was like, "I want to go to Oingo Boingo." I didn't really want to go with him, but I was like, "But it's tickets to Oingo Boingo." So then we get there, and he goes, "Well, I actually got our tickets far apart because I got better seats, buying just one at a time. So you're gonna have to sit with some other people for a little while, and then you can move
So it
over to
worked
where
out
I am.
perfect.
And I was
Yeah.
like, this is great. And then I sit down and I hit it off completely with all the people around me, and I'm having a great time. And at one point, I catch sight of him going, you can come over here now. And I was like,
No.
so that was my first concert.
Do you know
I would love to go to see Oingo Boingo in concert now. If I love the
Well,
Boingo
I had never
Boingo.
seen an encore before, so when I got home, I was telling my grandma all about it, and I was like, it was amazing. I was like, and then they finished the concert. They were done. They left the stage, and we made so much noise. They came back out and played like
Man.
3 more songs. It was unbelievable.
What point did you see the wizard in your career of show business? When did you realize it was
about
all
3 concerts later, I was like, I
bullshit?
think this seems to be a thing.
I
Like,
think
it's like
it's-
a weird song and dance, like
I think when you
peekaboo.
first see encore, it's like believing in Santa Claus. You believe it
Yeah.
for only so long, and you're like,
Beautiful.
oh.
And I also, at that concert, also reported some people for smoking pot. And
Oh, no.
the security guard just laughed at me. I was like, the
Reported.
people over there are smoking pot. And he was like, he just shook his head and folded his arms.
Do you know, I didn't even know Danny Elfman was Oingo Boingo until 2 years ago.
Wow.
Which,
Really?
yeah, it really upset me.
Sometimes things just miss,
Yeah, I don't
you
know
just
how.
miss a day and you just, yeah.
I missed a lot of days not to know that.
That is quite a lot of
But
days
it's
to
true.
miss.
So, who was the first artist you put on a pedestal? Like posters on the wall? Just.
Linda Ronstadt, because my mom was a huge Linda Ronstadt fan, so I had that album where she had her skates on. I think it was just called Linda Ronstadt. Yeah, and I was really into roller skating at the time, so I was like, she's the coolest person ever, and my mom likes her, so she must. And I'm still a huge Linda Ronstadt fan.
Well, I guess Shock G because I was into Digital Underground, but no, I remember before because that was the first album I bought for myself. But the first time I really got super excited about music was I saw the movie La Bamba, and so I was like, Richie Valens is the guy. So my granddad bought me a cassette tape with all the real music on it, and
Right.
then he got me the movie soundtrack too. And Los Lobos did all the movie stuff, and it's killer. But once I heard all the old original recordings, I was like, this is the guy. So I guess Richie Valens would be the first
Okay.
one that I was really super into.
Los Lobos played about a mile away from here tonight, a big free concert.
And I just
Yeah.
said that I
Wherever-
like
no.
Richie
Outside.
Valens better than Los Lobos. No, Los Lobos is like an amazing band, but
None of them are here.
yeah.
So
Well, you
yeah.
never know, man. People show.
Lou Diamond Phillips plays my husband quite a bit on cartoons.
Yeah, you said that's
Yes,
so weird.
I
to
just
me.
saw him last weekend. We
Well,
were,
tell
yeah.
him he changed my life. That movie really was like my
Every time he
introduction
sees me, he's
to
like, my
blues music.
wife, my wife. Yeah, but we're not close at all. That's all we ever. We joke about being husband and wife, and that's the depth.
And then
That's the
he was
breadth of our
Chavez in
relationship.
Young Guns too, which was
yeah.
another movie I was obsessed with as a kid. I was.
The woman that was with me was like, "Oh my God, I would really love to meet him. I would really love to get something signed." But I thought, I only know him in that passing way. I don't know him well enough to be like, "Can
right.
you sign this for my friend?" Yeah, so I just
He would've
pretended
done
like
it.
I didn't hear
Hey, Lou
her.
Diamond, can you do me a favor?
He seems
Oh,
nice.
he is. He
Lou, can I
probably
call
he
you
would do
Lou?
it. He would do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So you're on a deserted island. You got 3 records. You get to take 3 with you. Which 3 are we taking? I say 3 for brevity.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I know this is the part where you said
Everly
anything.
Brothers songs our daddy taught us.
Okay.
I love the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, and Heart Like a Wheel.
Wow,
Okay.
solid.
Digital Underground, Sex Packets. I'll tell you what.
You need to turn a digital underground into a rockabilly sort of.
I love that you're
bet
just
you
not trying
could
to be
do it.
cool at all. Because I've done interviews with people where it's like, "What was your first album?" I was like, "Oh, Sketches of Spain." It's like, "Oh, shut up!"
No,
when you were 11 years old, come on.
I get a
I'm
little
not,
bit of that.
I'm not trying to be anything, but Digital Underground is cool. I don't know
No,
what
no,
you're.
it's
You
so
just
cool.
what you
It's
just said
so
implies that they're
uncool.
not
It's
cool.
cool.
They're the
No,
coolest
it's,
band.
I just love
How dare
the
you
refreshing
imply?
honesty. I've been around too many musicians trying to be.
No, it's not very rockabilly of me to say Digital Underground, but they had so many jazz and blues influences and stuff in the hip hop and the samples, and it spoke to me really early on. But anyway, so yeah, that record means a lot. And then Dick Curless, The Soul of Dick Curless is one of my favorite albums, and that actually even as an adult, I've been aware of that record since I was a kid. I still put it on at least a couple times a week and just listen to it all the way through. And then. I don't know, probably Elvis Sun Sessions,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
He got me into Dick Curless. I'd never even heard of him, and then I was like, wow, he's really great.
Yeah, anybody with an eye patch, you know, they're going to be at least interesting. You know?
So you got any guilty pleasures you want to air?
Not on the internet, you know.
I mean,
My
like
search
musically?
history speaks for itself.
oh,
but,
musically,
you know,
musically.
musically.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
it can be anything. I'm talking.
I knew.
Like my mind right now is like Olivia Rodrigo. I've
you
secretly
know?
gone to become a 13-year-old girl.
I don't know her music, but another person whose taste in music I respect very much said, you know what, it's Dana Gould, the comedian. He was
Oh, yeah.
he was saying that his daughter was listening to.
Let me
He's
pick
like
up
the
that
new
name
Olivia
that you just
Rodrigo.
dropped.
Oh my God, no!
That's number
But
2.
he was saying like my daughter listens, and I'm really enjoying the new Olivia Rodrigo record. And I was like, well, Dana's got great taste in music. I gotta
That's awesome.
check that out. Yeah, I have. I'm like Lou Diamond Phillips, Dana Gould. I know famous people.
I can't, honestly, I don't want to sound like a hard-on, but I don't feel ashamed of liking, like, I don't have any guilty play. I'm not guilty
Right.
for anything. I just like what I like.
Maybe unexpected, but probably Digital Underground. We probably covered
yeah,
that.
I guess that'll be the through line in this interview,
Yeah.
Digital Underground. You know, honestly, I didn't, a lot of people, guys I know in like country music and rockabilly music and stuff, they all started with punk rock. And I started I was like a nerd. I was into old blues and stuff as a kid. So I didn't start getting into the punk rock and like metal and different things until my 20s and 30s. So I guess for me, like, yeah, like I really like Megadeth. That might surprise people, or, you know, things like that. I like harder stuff, Ramones and all the, you know, all
Right.
that punk stuff. I kind of didn't get on that bandwagon until way later. But
Okay.
when I go play like a country or rockabilly festival or something, like when I'm driving home, the last thing I want to hear is all that stuff. So I'll put on stuff like that. That's
Nice.
my favorite stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
I love ZZ Top.
Yeah.
But that's
ZZ
not a
Top.
guilty. I don't feel like that's guilty.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not guilty. I don't feel guilty about
Especially
it.
when
Yeah.
you're in Houston, where
I
Right,
also will
absolutely.
blast the
Fun.
outfield "Your Love." You know that Josie's on a vacation
that was
far
killer.
away.
I mean, I'm not like.
sometimes
I guess unexpected would be better than
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah, nobody should feel
Yes.
guilty for liking what they like.
No,
You know?
that's true. So what are we? The big question is, what are we Netflixing? What are we Huluing? What shows?
I have 3
Everybody
children
needs shows.
that I'm raising alone, so
No?
I've watched the first 4 minutes of a lot of things people
Yeah.
have told me to watch, and I'm like, oh, this is really. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot.
Trying to
Some new
think-
documentaries. I watched the new well, I fell asleep during that too because Johnny Bowler, our stand-up bass player, came to stay with me, and he's like, I'm gonna order food because I'd been working all day. He's like, order food, have everything ready, and we had this nice Indian dinner. And he's like, let's watch the Little Richard documentary, and I was like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, no, actually, there's so many cool things. I've been like digesting a bunch of stuff because I'm kind of a stoner too. So like to wind down, like I just put it on. But I guess if you looked at my Netflix watch history, it would probably like mostly just be Seinfeld.
Right.
And then like
That's always what I always
and then
go
somebody
back to.
recommends something, you
Yeah.
know, it's like that. But Seinfeld's one of those things where I can put it on, like do stuff,
Yep.
and when I check back in, I know exactly what's going on. I know the dialogue. I could recite it for you. I got a buddy, he's into Seinfeld trivia, and we're always trying to stump each other. So probably Seinfeld.
I just started following Seinfeld bloopers on Instagram. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's just reels of.
It's
So
funny
bloopers.
in the Seinfeld bloopers because it's mostly Michael Richards
Yeah.
trying to be a serious actor, and everyone else cracking up at Michael Richards and him getting pissed
Right,
off,
this is
like,
cool.
I gotta do this again. Get your shit together, you know. Yeah.
I also on planes watch things. I'm always on a plane because I travel
Right.
every weekend to either do music stuff or cartoon stuff.
That's how
And-
I saw Operation
yeah.
Dumbo Drop. Yeah.
Oh.
Airplanes are always my.
So you
opportunity
were
to
the
watch.
one
It's
that
always my
watched that.
opportunity to watch like shit that you would never
Yes,
watch.
I'm just like,
yeah.
what is going on in the world? Let's check in. We've
Yeah.
got 2 hours to kill. Nothing else is gonna distract me. But I watched the Phil Spector thing that was like a Showtime 3-part
yeah.
thing. Very good.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
interesting. So I'm going to end this interview with some either ors. I'm going to give you 2
Okay.
bands.
All right.
You give me your preference. Just because you say you one does not mean you dislike the other one.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer.
No wrong answers
answer.
because they're all amazing artists.
But everyone out there will judge
They
you.
will judge you.
I get
Yeah.
very afraid of
Everybody.
like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Those kind of, because I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I am
yeah.
definitely not.
No.
No, I'm not going to
let's
ask you
just
who the
get
3rd
that out
president of the
way.
United States was or anything like that. There's no need to embarrass
Wasn't it John
anybody here.
Adams? Wasn't he the 3rd president?
I
Or was
shouldn't
he
even
the
have said
4th?
it.
I don't know.
Jefferson was the 3rd one.
Jefferson was the 3rd. Adams
Yeah.
was the 2nd. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jefferson
So
will
you are
always be number
smarter than
2
a
in my
5th grader.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm very
Yeah, that's
impressed.
farther than I could get.
I
God
only think
bless
I could go backwards
God
farther.
bless America. This education system's working great here.
So first one's Universal, Beatles or Stones?
Oh, Beatles, of course. Yeah, Beatles to me.
Yeah, Beatles. Yeah, I mean, I love the Stones too.
Yeah.
They're 2 different. It's apples and oranges, really. Beatles is pop and Stones are blues to me. But if I had to pick, I'd go Beatles because like all that early, like live at the BBC session stuff, they're playing all the Elvis and Carl Perkins and all that stuff
Right.
that I grew up on. So
My kids, I got into
You can
the
cuss.
Beatles. My son's
Okay, good.
16 and he's coming back to the Beatles now. Like he was raised on it when he was really little, and then he was too cool for it, and now he's like, that was really good.
Right.
I'm gonna start
Yeah.
getting back in it. He just sent me Imagine with everything that's going on in the world. He sent me a little link to Imagine, and I was like,
was it the
"Tex."
link where all the celebrities sang it during COVID? Wasn't that a
It was
banger?
like
Everyone
Gal
out there in
Gadot or
internet land,
something.
yeah.
Oh
I
no.
don't even remember
It was
that.
so
Did
nice
that
of them to
happen?
do that
They
for
did
us.
like a celebrity, yeah. They all like
Like We Are the World,
video,
but-
Yeah, but it was all on like FaceTime or whatever. Yeah, they like zoomed it in. Yeah, it was horrific.
I am not going to look that up.
It was. I don't want to say it was worse than COVID, but it wasn't. It definitely wasn't what we needed at that time. I will say that.
I am not
Yeah.
touching that. I'm going to go on to the next one. Dolly or Aretha?
Oh, Dolly for me.
Yeah, man.
But
that
Aretha-
is,
I mean, that is-
hard.
that-
Dolly, I guess, because we've been like steeped in Dolliness because we've been working on some projects and stuff.
Okay.
And Dolly is like a living saint.
She is.
I love her. She's a wonderful human being as well as a great artist.
But Aretha, I mean, is
Aretha's got that
incredible.
voice.
Yeah.
She'll take you somewhere.
Yeah, like I said, it's not knocking the other one. It's
No,
just-
I know. It's
you
just,
know.
these are hard questions.
Well, they're not
I
supposed
wasn't.
to be easy.
I just
can't
got
say
to go
that.
to Dollywood for the very first time, and I was just like, I go to theme parks and I don't really care about the merch or
Yeah.
anything. And my family gets things, and I just wait for them to do whatever they want to do. But for this time, they were so patient with me. My ex-husband and my children all went, and I said, take a picture of me in front of the cabin where she was. And he's like, all right. He was very patient. And I was like, you're being so nice. And he's like, go to the
You know
gift
the best
shop.
part
dude.
about
This is your
Dollywood,
time.
though, that they don't tell you, is the smell.
The smell.
Because they bake that cinnamon
Oh, yes,
bread
that
all
cinnamon
day.
bread.
It's just the whole place smells like this delicious cinnamon bread. Dollywood,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
I went on this roller coaster at Dollywood, and they have these little boxes where you put like your wallet and stuff so you don't lose anything.
Right.
And the guy who was like the attendant, he was talking about like this. He's like, "Why? This is more like a kid's ride." So I was like, "Okay." So I didn't put any of my stuff in there, and the first like dip, my sunglasses and phone like fell through the tracks. And I was like, and they're like, "You will never get that back. I'm sorry, you'll never get that back." And then I found like some kind of sketchy-looking dude who looked like a maintenance guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey man, that first bump, like I lost my sunglasses and my phone, like $100. Will you go grab it?" And he's like, "You come back here when the park closes. You stand right here." And sure enough, I got my stuff back. So bless that guy out there in Dollywood, wherever he is, got my phone and my
I
sunglasses.
remember that when that happened because he and I text pretty regularly throughout the day just about like, are we gonna do this song or have you gotten that mix
think I was
back
mad
yet?
at
Or-
you?
well, it was weird to not hear from him all day, and he's like, you're not gonna believe it. I was without my phone all day because I lost on a roller coaster at Dollywood.
So money, basically the story is money solves all problems.
Yep.
There we go.
Love makes the world go round, but money greases the wheels. That's what they say, yeah.
Elle versus Sinatra.
Well, Elvis for me, because it had the biggest impact.
Elvis for me too, because I was raised on Elvis.
Yeah.
Willie or Johnny.
Johnny, even though I love Willie, but Johnny, I mean, the Carter family, I play the auto harp, and I was raised on the Carter family and June Carter, and then the combination of the two of them, it's just, yeah.
Okay.
I think at this point in my life, I would have to say Willie. If you asked me like 5-10 years ago, I'd say Johnny, but trying to get better at songwriting and craft
Right.
and things, I definitely Willie. I have a whole playlist on my phone, just like hundreds of Willie tunes and then songs that he wrote by other people. Like I just think he's amazing.
He really got me into all that early stuff that was just very.
Yeah, so much
Yeah. I
great
downloaded
stuff.
all those big demos. They were demos, right? Yeah.
To me, Willie and Dolly are probably the two icons
They're
that
amazing.
are left
The fact
in
that,
the world.
that,
And
that
maybe
we still
Snoop Dogg.
have them both, and they both still play, and yeah, it's amazing.
I saw Johnny and June play though live together probably 20 years ago. I got to be on the June Carter tribute album that her son put out called Anchored in Love. If you get it, I'm the only person that's not famous on it. It's like Loretta Lynn, Chris Christopherson, some lady named that I've never heard of.
Well, that makes you kind of
I
famous.
weaseled my way on there just because I play auto harp and I do comedy. And he was like, "You're very much like my mom. You know, you're an actress and you're a comic and you play the auto harp and you've got, you know, I don't know. And I like to wear a Appalachian wedding gown."
That's probably what did it for you.
Yep.
So Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince, yeah.
Everybody says Prince. Lady Gaga or Madonna?
Madonna, even though I know lately she's gone up.
Yeah, you can't look at
He
it
had a
that way.
front row seat to
I'm gonna
Lady
tell you,
Gaga.
yeah, I was working a show in Vegas, and one of the girls who was a backup singer on the show is a Lady Gaga impersonator, and one of like a high roller fan gave her 2 of these like crazy VIP tickets where you sit close to the stage, like, but in like a leather couch with your own waitress.
What?
And she was like, anybody want to go in the dressing room? Anybody want to go to Lady Gaga with me after the show? And everyone's just silent. And I was like, I will go, not really expecting much. But I went, and it blew my mind. She's amazing, and I got a buddy, Brian Newman, who plays trumpet with her jazz thing and all that stuff she did with Tony Bennett and stuff. Like, she's kind of she's the real deal. Like, she's a real musician, and so I got to go Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Not that Madonna's a phony or anything, but
No.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish or Adele?
Billie Eilish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Metallica or Sabbath?
Metallica for me.
Either of them, but I know Ozzy Osbourne. So
I'm going to tell a story, quick, brief, but slightly ribaldrous. But Metallica got me laid, so that's why they win. I had a girl that I really wanted to date in high school in that time, and
Because Metallica does write romantic songs.
no, but she wanted to go to Metallica, and we had some bet together, and the bet was if I lost, she got to like dress me how she wanted, and I had to take her to Metallica, and I of course lost the bet on purpose. And she dressed me up like some Hesher dude or whatever, and I took her to Metallica, and everything worked out like it was supposed to. And so for that reason, I picked Metallica. But
I saw the Metallica
Cheers.
movie because the person I was with really just was into Metallica and really wanted to see the Metallica movie, and I had to pretend like I was but I was just like, I don't get it. I don't know. But he was like, well, you know, there's a lot of history. They're in therapy.
I feel like you got to kind of be like an angry young dude to really
I
get
went and saw them
Metallica.
last month. They were amazing.
Yeah, see?
It was incredible.
You're an angry young dude.
You got a little bit of that angst left in
Angry.
you.
I'm like young. So last one's John Prine or Bob Dylan.
Oh,
Everybody
John
gets mad at me
Prine.
about this
I
one.
am a John Prine
John Prine
nut.
has won this one, so like just one out.
Yeah.
On this
I feel
one.
like people are just starting to learn about
Yeah.
him, you know?
Bring a lot
I
of
love
that.
John Prine. I picked Dylan just because he had the band, and the band is amazing. And then also there was a time in my life where like things weren't going so good for me. At least I didn't think they were. I was drinking a lot, drugging. Kids, don't do that. But I remember it was like 6 a.m. and the plane was taking off, and I just put on the headphones when United used to do these playlists you could listen to, and Desolation Row came on, and it was like a switch clicked, and I was like, I understand Bob Dylan now. This makes perfect sense. So I got to go with Dylan. Yeah.
One of the first songs I ever learned was Don't Bury Me in the Cold, Cold Ground. My dad loved that kind of music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like 5 years old. And I was cracking everybody up because I was at school and the teacher was like, she's singing a song about like, because it was like, I woke up this morning, put on my slippers, walked in the kitchen and died. Oh, what a feeling as my head went through the ceiling and on up to heaven I did fly. Well, please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them chop me up and spread me all around. Send my stomach to Milwaukee if they're running low on beer. And pack my socks in a cedar box, just
Real
get them out of here.
appropriate child.
I know, but yeah, they
subject
were like,
matter.
she's talking about like, because the
That's
teacher
like a
had no
Little Miss-
idea what she was talking
Little
about.
Miss Sunshine sort of a
Talking about
situation there.
she's
yeah.
her stomach's full of beer and her socks stink, and she keeps singing this song to all the kids. My dad was like,
CPS
proud,
is knocking
very
on the
proud.
door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm going to end it there.
Yeah.
I don't know how better way to end
Stinky
this. but
socks is a good way
All
to
right.
end.
Thank you for hanging out with me. I
you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Cheers. Thanks for having us, Mucky Duck in Houston and
You were
everybody
good
out
for
there.
a shy interviewer, I think.
Yeah. I feel like you.
We're pretty chatty
That's
little
a
people.
good showbiz move. Like keep the expectations low and then hit them hard. Deliver. You nailed
You
it.
should hustle pool.
Yeah.